We need to talk about the live-action Lilo and Stitch. I went to see it the other day. I'm a couple days after I've seen it. I wanted to really mull my thoughts over, let it settle into my body before I come and talk about it, but I have some thoughts. I'm gonna get flamed. I liked it. I thought it was good.
Boo! You stink!
This is gonna be slightly a review of the original movie too, because I watched it for the first time ever, like 2-3 weeks ago now. So there's no nostalgia in it for me. I went to see it with my wife, Alex. She loves the original. She grew up with the original. She has the nostalgia for the original. I don't. I didn't like the original all that much. It's okay for a kid's movie, but I didn't think it was really all that great. I like Stitch. Didn't really care that much about the whole Nani and Lilo stuff. I thought the pacing of the original movie was awful. Like, kids movie, obviously, but still, there's much better paced kids movies. That the original movie, it felt very schizophrenic with its pacing, and the climax was very anticlimactic and dumb. So, did they fix that in the new one? Kind of, yeah, kind of no. It's still not a perfect movie. It's still not amazing, but I thought it was good. So I use a scale of 1 to 7 to score things, by the way, just so you know where everything's coming from. The original movie, I would give it a 3 out of 7. It's a little bit below average, but it's not bad. And this isn't some weird system like 1 out of 10 where 7 is somehow okay. No. 1 out of 7. 4 is average, 3 is below average, 2 is bad, 1 is terrible, 5 is above average, 6 is good, 7 is amazing. So, I'd give the original 3 a little bit below average because of all the pacing issues. The remake, I can't really show a lot of clips here because all we got is the trailers that I can use, because there's no official, like, online streaming or DVD version of the movie to pull footage from yet. I got these 2 pictures when I was in the theater, though. I didn't want to just sit there taking a bunch of pictures, but I wanted to take at least something. I got some comments, and I've never done anything like this before, so my thoughts aren't going to be as well structured as they could be, because I'm also not using any script or notes for this. I'm just pulling this all from my brain. First thing, elephant in the box. Stitch's CGI design. Anytime they make a live-action remake of an old movie, the first concern is whether it's going to at least look good or not, and honestly, I think this one looks great. I think the CGI in this one is done really well. We've had terrible ones before, like Lion King and Aladdin. That just horrible remakes. Why would you even do it? I thought this one looked great. I thought Stitch looked amazing. I love the CGI design they used for Stitch. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was better than his 2D design, honestly. It's like the perfect 3Dification of it. And seeing it in 3D with actual people just makes it that much more satisfying. That being said, going along with visual stuff, the cinematography in this movie was really weird. Like, most of the camera work was just really boring and static, but there was also just a lot of shots that didn't need to be there. It was weird. There's a scene, if you've seen the original, you know, where they're at the Nani brings Lilo and Stitch to work with her, and they're at the table and they light everything on fire. In the remake, Stitch disappears to go play with the torch, and Lilo's looking around for Stitch, and she like peeks under the table, and it switches to this like lower resolution shaky cam under the table. It's like super wobbly, and it's just for like a second, and then it just is. We never get another shaky cam shot like that ever again. It was so out of nowhere, and it looked so bad. It's really just weird, the cinematography. That's honestly the biggest issue I had with the movie. The cinematography and the acting is not the best. I thought Nani did pretty good. The actress they got for Nani. I don't know any of their names or anything because I don't keep up with that kind of stuff. But Nani was good. She was. I could see how someone could think that she's a little bit like deadpan, a little bit dead inside, but I thought it was fitting with the whole. Their parents are dead and she's taking care of a 6-year-old. The actress for Lilo, though, is a little bit rough. She like, mumbles a lot of the lines, and I'm going to have to get the DVD to make sure with like DVD audio balancing instead of the booming theater speakers, but a lot of scenes Lilo had like lines and I couldn't really hear what she was saying. She was like mumbling them. I couldn't really hear it over the background music. But I need to get a DVD to see if that was just an issue with the audio balancing for the theater. On to the changes that I know most people are going to be mad about. People hate when you change things. Also, I apologize if I'm not looking at the camera because my whole setup's over here. So for the most part, I'm going to be looking over here slightly instead of right there. So that's just why it looks like I'm looking off to the side a little bit, because my actual stuff's over there. Onto the changes. There's some obvious changes. They removed Captain Gantu. I know people are mad about that because he was the original villain. He's so important. They made a change that I'm not entirely in love with, but I think they made it work pretty well. So Gantu's gone, and Jumba is the main villain this time. Now, I haven't seen any of the other movies yet, or the show, so I don't know if it's explained in any of those. I'm going to have to watch those later. From what I've gathered from Alex's reactions to watching the movie, Jumba turns evil anyway, just later on, because it's mentioned at the end. Jumba's the main evil villain because he wants to recapture Stitch, not for the councilwoman. He wants to recapture him so he can improve him, experiment on him, make him a true evil version of Stitch. Make him experiment 627, because Stitch is 626. And from Alex's reaction, 627, I think, is a concept they introduced later for Jumba to do, to make an evil Stitch. But that's just me speculating off of her reactions. I could be wrong on that. I need to see those other movies before I make a determination. This is just coming from the context of someone who's only seen the first movie. I'm fine with the change. I think it's a little bit weird, but they made it work. They made Jumba such an ass. Honestly, I'm a little bit disappointed that they kept him alive at the end. I know it's a kids movie, but kids movies used to be willing to kill their villains. He makes it so personal. Other changes, Bubbles was kind of butchered in this one. He's not the social worker, there's just some random chick as a social worker, and then Bubbles is strictly just a CIA agent trying to track down Stitch and make sure no humans find out about the aliens. Loses a bit of the emotional impact. I saw a lot of people saying that he's a bad guy. He's not a bad guy. He's not treated as a bad guy at any point. He's just a CIA agent who just wants to track down Stitch and keep it contained. He has no care for Nani or Lilo in this version, which I don't like that they made that change. They should have kept him the way that he was before, because the new social worker does nothing. She's worthless, and the change to Bubbles just makes him less worthwhile Because also, the only, like, bad guy validation is a scene where he arrests Pleakley. While Pleakley is trying to help Nani and Lilo find Stitch. Or no, not. Pleakley's trying to help Nani find Lilo. Because Lilo, it's the end of the movie when Lilo and Stitch both get captured by Jumba instead of Gantu this time. And Bubbles is like, I can't help you. I have to take Alien back to headquarters. And Nani has to beg him like, it's my sister. Until he's finally like, I'll help you. It was just cheap. Bubbles should have stayed the same and it would have been a lot better. The way Bubbles was originally is a lot more satisfying of a story. The other character that kind of got butchered is David. In the original, David was this, like, confident, macho guy. He's interested in Nani, and he expresses that openly. And she's like, I'm into it, but I have to worry about Lilo in my life. And he respects that. And I liked David in the original. David in this one, they changed it to the, I like you, but I'm awkward about it, and I'm not very confident, and I guess it's supposed to be more relatable for modern audiences, but they should have kept him. It's a lot worse now with him being all awkward trying to talk to her, because the new character I mentioned earlier they introduced is his mother. And those are the only character changes I can think of. As for story and scene changes, there's a lot of things. At the start, there's this really stupid scene where Stitch tears up a wedding just because he wants to eat cake, which would be fine on its own, except he plays a stupid-ass Maroon 5 song over it. And they have this thing where, like, the wedding photographer is there, and every time he snaps a photo, Stitch is right there in the photo, ruining the photo. Which, they kind of bring it. They could have brought that back and made it a lot better, because after that, we get Jumba and Pleakley on Earth looking for Stitch, and they see like a news report of a wedding getting destroyed. And they're just instantly like, yeah, that's gotta be Stitch. It would have been better if the news report included the wedding photographer's pictures, including Stitch. That way they could have brought that back. Because without that, that opening scene just seems a little bit cringy with the stupid Maroon 5 song over it and the wedding photographer taking photos. It's kind of basic. It's tropey. After that, though, it gets much better. They make some scene changes. They got rid of the ugly duckling story, which I'm fine with, because they still kind of stick to that story. They just got rid of the actual ugly duckling inclusion, which I'm okay with, because I thought that was a little bit too on the nose in the original. I think it's good to leave some things up for interpretation. You don't need everything explained directly to you, in my opinion. So, like, in the movie, I don't need that story to know that that's what's going on. And I thought they played a lot of the emotional beats a bit better. I actually felt things when the surfing scene happens. They don't blame Stitch for it, because they know they see the guys, Pleakley and Jumbo in disguise. They see them coming up on a jet ski, putting them all in danger. And when Stitch is trying not to drown because he's like super heavy in water, Nani and David go out to save Lilo and Stitch respectively, and they got rid of the scene where Nani like kicks Stitch and tries to drown him, and then David saves him, and then they blame Stitch for what happened. I'm happy they got rid of that, because I thought that was stupid when I watched the original. I was like, that's so stupid. I hate these kinds of tropes where it's just a misunderstanding and they get mad at the wrong person. I hate that. I'm happy they got rid of that. They don't blame Stitch at all, and I think it adds a lot more to the emotional value of it. the emotional weight that we see Stitch blame himself because he sent himself back to the pound. And this is kind of the replacement for the ugly duckling, because in the original they do the ugly duckling. Lilo's like, I'm the ugly duckling, and then Stitch is like, oh, I'm the ugly duckling. Oh, that's a story, yeah. And in the new one, Lilo's talking to Nani, and she's like, am I bad? Nani's like, no, you just do bad things sometimes. And when Stitch sends himself to the pound, Lilo goes after him, and he's like, I'm bad. And she's like, no, you just do bad things sometimes. It's a good, I think it's better, again, for the emotional weight of it, because you actually see Lilo taking in some of what Nani's telling her, and then passing it down onto Stitch, like, I understand. Okay, the next change to the story is when Pleakley and Jumba get fired. This goes into helping Jumba be the main villain. They don't fire Pleakley, they only fire Jumba. The councilwoman calls them and she's like, Jumba, you're fired. Pleakley, arrest him and take him back. And I like that, because I didn't like in the original that they fired both Pleakley and Jumba when Pleakley did his job. Pleakley's job was just to keep an eye on Jumba and make sure that he was not going off. Which they did get rid of the mosquito story, which I thought was a little weird. I thought that was better in the original. Pleakley wants to protect Earth because it's like a habitat for mosquitoes, which are a valuable species, and it comes out later that that was just a bald-faced lie by Bubbles to have them not destroy Earth. Which goes into the last story change. Bubbles has no idea who the councilwoman is. They don't know each other. In the original movie, at the end, it's revealed that Bubbles and the councilwoman know each other. And he's like, I'll keep an eye on these guys. You know me. And I thought that was slightly worse in the new one, because she's like, it's the same turnaround at the end where she's like, all right, Stitch, I exile you to Earth with this family. She's like, how can I make sure that everything's kept under control and everything's good? And Bubbles just comes up like, I'll keep an eye on him. And she's like, who are you? How can I trust you? And that who are you? It's the fact that she doesn't know him. It's like, what? You changed that? Why did you change that? What does that accomplish? And then he's just like, trust me. And then she's like, okay. It's almost as stupid as the original, having Jumba be like, oh, Stitch is very convincing. We're going to help him now. I thought that was dumb in the original, and this is dumb in the new one. There's good and bad things about the changes in this one, and I think a lot of people are just too eager to jump on the it's different, so it's bad. They changed the ending slightly. That whole scene's the same, but they added more leading into it that I thought was a lot better done. Instead of just Gantu's ship crashing down, everyone makes it out, and then the councilwoman shows up. They have it crash, and then they have Lilo and Stitch both in the ocean. Stitch makes it onto like a piece of debris in the water, and he's safe on that debris because he's only like super heavy in the water. Lilo's down under the water. She's under like some of the debris under the water, and she's trapped. And Stitch dives into the water to free her, and he's too heavy for her to carry back up. So she swims back up, and he stays down there, sacrificing himself to save her. I thought that was really good. And then Nani and David come over, and David has been shown in the past in the surfing scene to be able to swim with Stitch. They don't have him take Stitch, though. They have David bring Lilo back, and then Nani stays to save Stitch, which you can be like, why didn't they just have David do it? Because he's shown to be able to do it before. But it's for the emotions. It's to be like Nani accepts Stitch now. She's doing it for Stitch, for Lilo. So I thought that was a good choice. And that's where the good part ends. It gets pretty dumb. She can't swim with him, so she grabs him and then she like sprints underwater to the surface, even though she's like half a mile out into the water. They do like CPR, not CPR. They like defibrillate Stitch and they hook it up to the truck that comes back. There was like a whole thing with a truck. It's good. I get that it's a thing that happens in real life, but when Lilo's crying over Stitch thinking he's dead, she starts dripping gloopy snot out of her nose, and that was disgusting. But I liked most of the changes. I thought a lot of them helped the story and the pacing. Specifically, the pacing was so much better in this version compared to the original. That was my main issue with the original. I thought the pacing was awful. I thought the pacing was much better here. I thought the story was a little bit better, but a lot of the changes weren't really necessary. Bubbles should have stayed the same. David should have stayed the same. David's mother being introduced is okay, in my opinion. She doesn't add a whole lot throughout most of the movie. She's kind of the joke character until the end, which is the part most people are really upset about. Nani doesn't get to keep Lilo in this version, and I'm okay with that. It was kind of stupid in the original, when after everything and their house burns down and all of the events of the story, they're just like, yeah, no, it's fine, you can keep Lilo. In the new one, it's like, so now you have no job, and you have no house. Why would we let you keep her now? But they come to an agreement where, like, David and his mom can take Lilo in. So she's living with David and David's mom, so she's still right there. And Nani gets to go off to college to be a marine biologist. Which I've been seeing a lot of people complaining about the strong, independent woman, career over family. That's not what happens at all. Like, if it was an actual complaint, an actual criticism of the story, that'd be fine, but you're just making that up to be mad about this one. Nowhere in the story does it ever portray her as being a career-focused woman. She sacrifices everything for Lilo, for her family, for her Ohana. People are hyper fixating on the Ohana means family. It's like, yeah, it's good. But they explain in the remake, no one gets left behind. Includes your goddamn self. And all Nani is ever shown to do is leave herself behind for the benefit of Lilo. This way, Lilo gets to be happy, grow up in a good, stable environment, and Nani gets to be happy and do what she wants with life. Going to college to do what you want isn't sacrificing your family to be a strong, independent career woman. That complaint's really stupid to me. It's also shown in the movie, Jumba and Pleakley have this like portal gun. They can shoot like portals, just like the video game. You shoot a portal, shoot a second portal, go through the portal, come out the other portal. Obviously, they do a joke where they shoot like one in the ceiling, one on the floor. They just have Jumba go poof, 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 poof. But they show at the end that Nani stole one of the portal guns, so she can just portal from her college straight to Lilo's room and see her whenever she wants. So she gets to go to college, and she still gets to be with and spend time with Lilo. It's done really well. It shows that she's not giving up her Ohana. I thought it was a lot better depiction because it shows that you can still be family. You're not leaving them behind. And you actually get to be healthy about it because you're not leaving yourself behind. You're not killing yourself for it. In the original, yeah, it's a nice, sweet, happy ending, but it's not a good ending. And I say good as in, like, good for everyone. Because Nani's not a mom. She was never built to be a mom. She's her sister. I don't know. I don't understand that complaint. They still play the Ohana theme and they do it really well. I thought it was really good. I thought the movie was good. So overall, I would give this one a 5 out of 7. I would watch this again on purpose. It's a little bit above average. It's not really great or amazing or anything, but it's a little above average. I liked it. I would buy this on DVD. Sorry, I look different. I'm recording this on a different day. I forgot to record the outro. With all that being said, thank you all so much for watching my review of Lilo and Stitch. This is the first movie, TV show, cinema thing I've ever done, so I don't know how well it's going to come out. But thank you for watching. And I'll see you guys next time.